For centuries, the story of human history has been treated as a closed book. It is a fortress of established facts, guarded by mainstream academia and religious institutions. This intellectual Rome dictates exactly who we are, where we came from, and how our ancestors lived. But a closer look at the foundation of this fortress reveals a disturbing pattern. Its authority doesn't rely entirely on the open pursuit of truth. Instead, it maintains control by actively suppressing, hiding, and sometimes destroying archaeological and historical evidence that contradicts its tightly controlled timeline. Take the Vatican's restricted archives. Behind these highly guarded doors lie millions of pages of history. By restricting independent access to these millennia-old records, the world's most powerful institutions successfully hoard our collective past to control the modern narrative. That narrative is now facing an intellectual siege. In recent years, independent researchers and data analyses have compiled a staggering list of over 100 documented physical anomalies worldwide that directly challenge mainstream science. We are talking about anomalous skeletal remains showing distinct non-human DNA markers, massive, out-of-place megalithic structures predating known civilization, and artifacts displaying lost manufacturing technologies. When you weigh the sheer volume of these unexplained contradictions, the established narrative stops looking like a consensus. It reveals itself as a fragile cover-up on the verge of total collapse. The first wave of evidence battering these citadel walls comes from language and mythology, specifically the linguistic overlaps found across ancient cultures separated by thousands of miles of impassable ocean. Consider the ancient Mesopotamian creator deity, Enki. If you travel across the globe to the Andes Mountains, you find the Inca sun god, Inti. They share a strikingly similar phonetic name and perform identical mythological functions as bearers of advanced knowledge. Move north into Central America, and the Mesoamerican deity Quetzalcoatl echoes this exact same archetype. Once again, an advanced creator figure arrives to impart sophisticated mathematics, agriculture, and astronomy to early humans. These identical names and precise attributes, appearing simultaneously across isolated continents, begin to stretch the limits of independent coincidence. They point directly to a shared global civilization that the academic establishment simply refuses to acknowledge. If phonetic similarities are easy to dismiss as folklore, the second wave of evidence is hard, physical, and immediate. This is the Antikythera mechanism, discovered off the coast of Greece. It's an astronomical calculator built with complex, interlocking gears. Creating this device required advanced mathematics and precision metallurgy that, according to the official timeline, would not be invented for another 1,000 years. High in the Andes at Puma Punku, we find megalithic stone blocks featuring flawless, precision geometric cuts. The mainstream narrative insists these were carved using crude Bronze Age chisels and stone hammers, tools physically incapable of achieving this level of industrial precision. Right next to them sit massive cyclopean masonry walls. Dozens of highly irregular, multi-ton blocks are fitted together so tightly without mortar that a sheet of paper cannot slip between them. It is an architectural feat that modern engineering teams still struggle to replicate. Because the human tools of the documented era could not physically manufacture these artifacts, the established timeline is factually incorrect. A highly advanced technology had to be operating on early Earth. The deepest inconsistency, the one that truly breaches the citadel walls, is our own human genetic record and the sudden, unexplained leap in hominid cognitive evolution. Geneticists have established a consensus known as Mitochondrial Eve. By tracing maternal DNA backwards, the data proves that the mother of all living humans originated in Central Africa roughly 200,000 years ago. However, right at this 200,000-year mark, there is a glaring missing link gap in the fossil record. The slow, gradual process of natural evolution fails to fully explain the rapid, explosive leap in brain capacity from these earlier hominids to modern Homo sapiens. This brings us to the alternative Annunaki Adamic theory. Suppressed ancient texts from Mesopotamia detailed the deliberate genetic engineering of early humans by advanced beings, and these texts place this exact creation event in the same Central African region at the exact same point in history. This precise temporal and geographic alignment between hard genetics and suppressed ancient texts creates a correlation that the establishment can no longer ignore. The overlapping data points are too perfect to be mythological fiction. This alignment provides the evidence that breaks the academic framework. It suggests our species emerged through intentional cosmic design, rather than a slow, random crawl out of the primordial soup. The intellectual siege has taken its toll. When you combine the global linguistic echoes, the physical technological impossibilities, and the hard genetic alignments, the old historical narrative mathematically fails. When an AI-driven fact-checker systematically weights the evidence we've explored, the probability that these alternative hypotheses reflect our actual history reaches 70%. The remaining 30% holding on to the old narrative is no longer supported by actual scientific evidence. It is propped up entirely by institutional suppression, academic inertia, and the hidden troves within the Vatican's archives. This lack of transparency has a concrete effect on the present. For centuries, humanity has lived inside a curated, restricted reality designed by these institutions to maintain spiritual and historical control. We must let go of these false narratives. Clinging to a fabricated timeline obscures the reality of our shared heritage and keeps us blinded to our true identity. By stepping out of the ruins of this fallen empire and embracing the truth of our otherworldly origins, we can finally see ourselves clearly. Only then can humanity turn its true cosmic potential into actual power.